Step 1. Lining up the poles and the base plates and all the components needed to install the dock. Lining all the poles up in order makes it easier for quicker installation. So we have a practice of labeling the poles and laying them out before we start installing the dock. Make sure that your base plates are securely fastened in a proper manner. In this demonstration, the pole is put into the base plate, which will stay there from year to year. Each fall when the dock is removed, we loosen up the set screws. This is the proper way to tighten the tension on the set bolt. When installing the base plate, move it up the pole approximately 2 to 3 inches so it will grab the bottom. This 2 to 3 inches will allow the pole to set firmly on the bottom and secure it while you pound the post in. When tightening the bolt, be sure to not over tighten or under tighten. The correct process is to turn the bolt until it snugs up to the pole gently, and then turning the bolt another 1/2 to 3/4 turn. Be sure not to over tighten the bolt, because this will result in scarring and grooving into the pole, which will cut down on the life of the post. Step 2. Installing the starter bar. It is not necessary to install the starter bar each year. Typically, what we do is start the starter bar on dry land so it can stay there each year. We prefer that you start your starter bar on dry land next to the shore. Place the driver cap into the top of the post. The driver cap is designed to fit down inside the post and prevent the top of the pole from mushrooming while pounding with a hammer. Drive your first post in deep. We prefer that you drive the starter bar in 2 to 3 feet deep into the ground on your starter so that it does not have to be removed from year to year. Typically, the measurement from the starter bar will be 3.5 inches from the existing fixture, so the starter bar will set adjacent to the structure. As you can see here, we're measuring to see that the center of our starter bar would line up with the poles that we are about to pound into the ground. After driving the first post, put the starter bar up to the height that you desire to start your dock. Put the starter bar over the post, tightening it up to the angle and the height so desired. After tightening the starter bar, place the other post into the starter bar, lining it up at the angle you desire. Drive the second post to the angle desired. As you can see here, we put a level, hold it into place, and tighten up the starter bar. Now we are ready to install the first section. Step 3. The first section is always installed either in the waders or on dry land. These docks can be easily handled by 2 people. After setting the starter section on the starter bar, be sure to place the bolt in the U-brackets and secure them with a nut. This will help secure the dock during storms or high winds, if any may occur. As you can see here, this is the use of the stanchion for installing the posts. For installing the first section, place the post in the post pocket. Close the latch around the post pocket and place the pin. This will keep the latch from falling open and keep the pole secure. On this installation, our desired elevation is 2 feet above the dock for the top of the post. So we therefore measure down and mark 2 feet with a permanent mark. Then placing the driver cap into the post, drive the post down to where the line meets the top of the dock. This will ensure that your posts will all be even on top. After leveling up your first section, using the 3/8 ratchet with the 7/16 square head socket, tighten the bolt on the latch to the desired elevation on the dock. After leveling up your first section, we will be then ready to start with a second section. Although this finish is very durable, we like to use an old piece of carpet or a towel to keep from scuffing the dock. After the starter section has been secured, the next step is to install the second section. Carry the section upside down, place it on the piece of carpet or towel. As you can see here, our hinge design allows for easy hookup. Place the top bolt hinge into the top slot in the hook. After doing so, slowly let the section down with a rope. As you see here, the hinge hardware is extremely durable. The hardware is designed to withstand great weight after being hinged and locked, and that's what makes this dock unique. Here we are using our stanchion and the tape measure to get our desired elevation off the water. Place your pole into the post pocket, close the latch, and insert your pin. Remembering that we want our desired elevation to be 2 feet above the top of the dock with the top of the post, we will then put a mark at 2 feet and drive the pole down. Keeping your posts all the same height every year also helps to ensure a longer lasting dock. As in step 1, the reason for not over tightening the base plate is so that we can drive through the base plate and the base plate remains at the bottom of the lake. Typically, depending upon what kind of a lake you're on, if you're on a small lake with not a lot of wind and waves, we like to drive the post about a foot into the lake bottom. If you're on a bigger lake where the bigger waves can do some damage, we would like to see the post driven 16 to 18 inches. After driving your first post, repeat to the other side of the section. This is where the stanchion comes in handy. If you are a little high or a little low, all we have to do is crank up or down to find our desired elevation with a level. Once you are level, tighten your set screws, release the lock and the tension on the cable. Put the stanchion aside and proceed to the next section. When carrying the next section, carry the section upside down with the hook hinge to the rear of the section, laying the section flat on the dock. This will allow you to walk over the top of the section to stand it up and get ready to hook. After placing the section on the dock, stand the section to an upright position. Use the rope to hook over the post pocket, either side of the dock, whichever is your preference. With this rope, slowly let the section down. Be sure the rope is held securely in your hands, not allowing the section to crash down. Although unlikely, this may cause damage or stretch the hardware. This is the basic procedure you will repeat all the way through the installation of the dock. Repeat this process until reaching the end section. This section will be identified by the hardware where the hooks are going to the side of the section. This section is also 10.5 inches longer than the previous section. This section is called the end wing section. This is the section that the wing off sections will hinge to. When installing the wing section, the hinge procedure is basically the same. The only difference is that the section is turned sideways. After making the hookup with the hinge, let the section down. Use your stanchion not at the center of the section this time, but at one side where you were placing your first post. As seen in this picture, sometimes we move the stanchion closer to the post pocket that we are going to work on. This helps to ensure a little more stability while driving the post. After this post is driven and leveled and locked, we will then move the stanchion closer to the back post and repeat the process.